Hello friends. Many Americans think that they were born as exceptions, as special. A few decades ago, the rest of the world agreed with them. And perhaps these Americans are not wrong in thinking so. Americans believed they had rescued Europe from dictatorship, preventing communism from spreading in the Korean Peninsula and Southeast Asia. Create leaders of the free world. They created giants in fields such as literature, music, sports, science. They sent people into space, set foot on the moon, and sent machines to explore distant galaxies. Above all, America is the richest country in the world by GDP. If calculated by GDP per capita, America still ranks in the top 8 in the world. Overall, America is the #1 power in the world, there is no doubt about that. But along with the title of #1 in the world, there is a truth: 37.9 million Americans are living in poverty. According to new data from the Census Bureau, the poverty rate increased from 7.8% in 2021 to 12.4% in 2022. The 4.6 percentage point increase is a year-over-year increase. Largest since statistics have been available. To be fair, the poverty rate in the US has improved steadily over the past decade, from a peak of 48.8 million in 2013. The number of people in poverty in the US has plummeted to 34 million. In 2019. Of course, this trajectory has changed because of COVID-19. The pandemic has seriously affected employment and income, especially for families who were already vulnerable for many different reasons. It is a fact that poverty is costly. It is estimated that about 11% of the US government budget, equivalent to $665 billion has to be spent on food security programs. Poverty leads to many equally costly problems. It leads to stress, depression, health problems, social evils, and above all an atmosphere of pessimism that pervades society. The question is, why is the world's #1 power challenged by poverty? Is it true that America does not have the strength to lift all its people out of poverty? The biggest reason for this situation lies in the extremely large gap between rich and poor in America. According to the Census Bureau, the income of the top 10% is 13 times greater than the bottom 10%. Imagine a ladder, each step divided by income level. As the ladder gets longer and longer, the steps become farther and farther apart. At that time, it became increasingly difficult for people on the lower rungs to climb the upper rungs. Just like it is becoming increasingly difficult for people to escape poverty and join the middle and upper classes. The COVID-19 pandemic has further increased the disparity. The Gini coefficient, also known as the Lorentz coefficient, the most widely used measure of inequality, increased for the first time in the past decade. The simple reason is witnessing a wave of layoffs during the pandemic. Large corporations responded by increasing employees' salaries. However, many small startups do not have the money to do so. At the same time, inflation is rising, further widening the gap between those who have money and those who do not have savings. Calculations by the Massachusetts Institute of Technology show that the living wage for a family of 4 in the US is $24.16 per hour. However, this figure is more than 3 times the federal minimum wage of $7.25 per hour. In other words, a family of 4 must work more than 2 full-time minimum wage jobs to make ends meet. At 3.7%, the unemployment rate in the US is near a 50-year low. Among them, there are many low-paying precarious jobs. But not everyone dares to risk giving up. Especially workers of certain ethnicities. According to statistics, in the US there are about 140 million people, accounting for about 40% of the population, who are considered poor or low income. That is, near poverty. Of these 140 million people, more than half, over 70 million, are non-white. And no matter what you have heard so far, the truth remains, America lacks a social safety net to protect people from poverty. Low-income people receive subsidies. Correct? Those amounts of money are nothing. Furthermore, they must provide numerous personal documents and accurately fill out lengthy and confusing applications. Prove that they are eligible to receive benefits and regularly update information. Many people are also afraid of making mistakes in paperwork because providing false income information can lead to heavy fines or even jail time. The US also does not have child benefits similar to European countries, nor does it have universal benefits such as health care. Medical costs in the US are quite expensive. Many people argue that American healthcare is only expensive for those without insurance, but with insurance, treatment in America is very good, very happy, and very cheap. However, they do not say that there is no universal health care system. Anyone who needs it can buy Medicare insurance themselves. This is the only health care program with Social Security. However, you must be an elderly person, a disabled person, a child or a poor person who has to raise children to enjoy this benefit. American insurance is often tied to your job. Insurance is often purchased from the company. One person can buy insurance for the whole family, but buying insurance for yourself is an expensive and painful task. You have to apply, then they will ask if you have any medical history. If it's serious, you can't buy it. Worse yet, to a certain extent, this system actively contributes to poverty. For example, a poor person is eligible for health benefits, cash benefits, or food stamps, for example. However, if this person gets a job that pays enough to get them close to escaping poverty, all benefits will disappear immediately. This causes many people to lose motivation to increase their income. However, in the panic-filled early days of the pandemic, the US government did something that was previously unimaginable. Within weeks the government had transformed itself into something resembling a European-style welfare state. Congress quickly strengthened the social safety net stronger than ever. Policies like Medicare and food stamps became more generous. New federal benefits appear such as sick leave, paid sick leave or free school lunches. The government also released subsidy checks to people. Some places even give child support. It is estimated that since March 2020, the US government has spent about $5 trillion to support individuals and businesses. And since then, most of those benefits have been phased out as the US ended the COVID-19 public health emergency in May 2023. Some benefits like free COVID testing, food stamp fees and renewals have begun to expire. In April 2023, Medicare started deregistering. An estimated 15 million Americans are insured during the pandemic. Understandably, these policies were created as a response to crises and will end when the stressful period caused by the pandemic ends and the economy reopens. With everything falling into place, many families struggle with rising prices despite a strong job market and an improving economy. Not only poverty, American society today faces other startling numbers. Data from the Federal Bureau of Investigation, FBI, shows that hate crimes were at their lowest in history. However, it has increased over the years. The number of mass shootings reached an all-time record in 2021, with 690 incidents, and only decreased slightly in the following years. And in 2020, the US is the country with the largest decrease in average life expectancy among the OECD Economic Cooperation and Development Organizations. The average life expectancy for Americans has dropped by a year and a half from 78.79 to 77.28. The US and the latest information also ends today's story. Are you living and working in the United States? Please comment right below this video to let everyone know. And don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel to support, as well as to receive the earliest notifications every time our videos air. For now, Goodbye and see you again.